Hi everyone, I'm on the 606 this morning, and this is a very popular trail here in Chicago. And today I want to talk to you about when you are taken by God off of the normal course. So this is where I normally walk on my morning walk on this normal trail here. But I always notice this little side departure here, this off the trail. And what I want to encourage you is sometimes God will take us off the normal course that our life seems to be on and bring us off to the side here. And sometimes we might be confused because if you see this path, it's paved, it's easier. This is not paved, it's a little tougher. But I want to encourage you today that when he pulls you off your normal course, he's likely pulling you towards greater, pulling you towards that higher calling and purpose in your life. And so that's exactly what happened to Ruth. So you may recall that Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, had lost her husband and her sons. It was just too much for Naomi to handle. So she told her two daughter-in-laws that she was leaving and going back to her hometown. At first, the two daughter-in-laws, both Orpah and Ruth, insisted they couldn't let her go back home alone and that they both were going to go with her. Ruth said, "Why would you leave all of that? Why would you leave that normal course to come on this unknown path with me?" Now, Orpah gave up quickly and said, "All right, Naomi, you're on your own." But Ruth stayed the course. Ruth knew that God was pulling at her and she couldn't ignore it. She had to stay with Naomi because she knew in her heart at that moment it was the right thing to do. Now, what's interesting is that Naomi was a Moabite. And so not only was Ruth would be leaving her family and friends, she would be leaving her way of life because the Moabites worshiped other gods. So it was really a big change for Ruth to go from the normal course to come over here. But she trusted God in the process. She goes back home with Ruth, and of course we know how the story ends. Ruth eventually meets and marries Boaz and becomes the great-grandmother to King David. So when God takes you off that normal course for a different path that everybody else seems to be on, don't be withdrawn. Don't think you're being punished for some reason. God is likely doing something greater in your life. So share today's message, subscribe to our channel, and tune in next week when we talk about tuning out the noise. Bye-bye.